My wife said she married me for stability after 18 years. I checked something first. There are things people say in the dark that they cannot unsay in the light. My wife whispered something to me on a Thursday night in November, after 18 years of marriage, that reorganized everything. She said, "I only married you for stability." She said it quietly, not as a weapon. As a fact she had been carrying long enough that setting it down felt more necessary than the consequences. I lay in the dark beside her. Then I got up, went to the kitchen, and opened my phone. I looked at my bank account. My name is Nathan. I am 52 years old. I built my career from nothing, 30 years of patient, unglamorous work in investment management. I made partner at 39. I launched a fund at 43 that performed well enough to open doors I had not expected. By my late 40s, the financial anxiety that had defined my childhood was simply gone. Elena had not known the full picture. She understood we were comfortable. She did not know what comfortable actually meant in numbers because I had never told her, and because 2 years earlier I had restructured my assets in a way that cleanly separated what was marital from what was mine, for professional liability reasons, not because I anticipated this moment. What I saw on my phone that night was not what she would have expected. I did not wake her. I did not call an attorney. I sat at the kitchen table in the quiet of a house that was asleep around me, and I let myself feel the grief first, because it was real. 18 years. 2 children. A life that had been genuinely good even if its foundation had just been described to me as a transaction. 2 weeks later, I asked her to sit down. I told her I had been thinking about what she said. I told her I wanted her to answer one question directly. I asked, "Are you happy?" She said she was comfortable. She said she was not unhappy. She said there were things she had wondered about. I listened to all of it. Then I told her the full financial picture. Not as a threat, as information. She had made a decision 18 years ago based on what stability meant to her, and she deserved to understand the reality she was now deciding about. She was quiet for a long time. Then she said she thought she had been wrong. Not about the original motive, she wasn't walking it back. She said what had started as one thing had become something else over 18 years, and she had not given that enough recognition. We went to therapy. 6 months of the most honest conversations of our marriage. I learned about the financial instability of her childhood that had made security a psychological necessity before she was aware of choosing it. She learned about the loneliness I had carried without naming, the specific loneliness of a person who gives completely and is not sure what is being received. We are still married. The marriage is different. More honest than it was, which I have come to believe is the foundation from which better is actually possible. I checked my bank account that night not because the numbers changed what she had said, but because I needed to sit with the full picture of what was real, what I had built, who I was when everything was laid out plainly. The distance between her story of our marriage and the reality underneath it was instructive. The whisper in the dark was the truest thing she had said to me in years. Hearing it, as hard as it was better than living indefinitely in the version that didn't contain it.